Breaking right now, if you're up and have AT&T as your cell phone provider, you may not have service, although I have it. I have service right now.
Yeah, you say you do. Some people in the newsroom do not have it at all. Appears to be a nationwide outage, though, impacting cell phones and possibly internet, too. Let's go right to Darius Johnson, live in the newsroom with the details. Darius, I just started to search AT&T into Google. It finished off my words with service outage, so a lot of people searching for this.
Just AT, boom. It was
And easily, if you go to x.com, you can see many people starting to express their frustrations online about this outage. We first started to see this outage take place around 2:30 this morning, and according to a Down Detector website, there are more than 30,000 outages, and the outages are taking place in different big cities across the nation: Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and Atlanta. However, we're still exactly trying to figure out exactly what caused this outage. Now, take a walk with me. We wanted to tell you exactly how we figured this out this morning. It was someone on our assignment desk who was checking her phone, just trying to see if she could make a call earlier this morning. She noticed that it said SOS on her phone, and I'm going to show you it right here. This is what many people are going to be waking up to. You can see right in the corner where it says SOS, and although she is connected to Wi-Fi, she still has not been able to connect to the internet or anything else, or even make calls. At one point, we tried to even dial 911 to see if she could connect with emergency services. That was not possible. So we're still working to figure out exactly what has prompted the outage. We're also working to figure out if this outage is impacting emergency services as well, as many of them may be trying to, or many of them may be using AT&T as their service provider. So once again, we're just trying to figure out exactly what's causing all of this. We have reached out to AT&T. We've heard nothing from them. There's no message. There's nothing on their website or no tweets that indicate that there is an outage right now or what customers should do. So especially if you're waking up this morning and you have AT&T, you're likely going to be waking up with that SOS message and unable to make any calls out or receive any calls. So Ryan and Audrina, we're definitely going to stay on top of this to figure out what's going on and what's prompting this outage.
All right, Darius, thanks for staying on top of that for us.
Dallas-based AT&T says its cell service has been restored and says a software update caused the nationwide disruption. Many AT&T customers spent the morning unable to use their phones if they weren't connected to Wi-Fi. The outage also affected businesses and even first responders who rely on a key network tied to AT&T. Fox 4's Blake Hansen in Dallas with the latest. Blake.
Yeah, Clarice, the company said its initial review found that something went wrong as it was trying to expand its network. It says this was not a cyber attack, but it did shine a light on just how many things are affected when the service goes down. Many AT&T cell users nationwide woke Thursday to a glimpse of what it's like to live without some of what makes a phone a phone.
I woke up this morning and my cell phone said that it just had an SOS on there.
I had to actually pull over and connect to Wi-Fi at Starbucks to text her to let her know, hey, I'm on my way.
Dallas-based AT&T says it was a widespread outage that affected many of its customers. Many were able to use the phone on Wi-Fi but lost the ability to call or use data when out and about. And it led to a bigger nuisance for some than others. 911 dispatch centers across the country reported an influx of people calling for no good reason. The Arlington Police Department, writing on X, dispatch tells us they're receiving a lot of calls this morning from folks testing whether a call to 911 will go through. Please only dial 911 if you're experiencing an emergency. In Tarrant County, some government operations were affected, including payment options for property taxes.
Statewide system is currently down. It is intermittently up. When it is up, we are conducting transactions as it is up. However, it does go down very quickly.
By about 2 in the afternoon, AT&T announced cell service had been restored. It finally revealed Thursday evening that an initial review found something went wrong as the carrier worked to expand its network. Earlier in the day, UT Dallas computer sciences professor Ravi Prakash told us it could have been caused by a bug.
Usually it is some kind of a software bug that goes undetected, and if you haven't properly tested before release, it can have certain unforeseen outcomes.
He says the timing might provide a clue.
Typically, you would push these kinds of patches late at night when there are very few customers online to provide minimum disruption.
The Federal Communications Commission also said today that among the services affected was AT&T's FirstNet. That is a network that is basically used by first responders, other public safety officials, and designed to be used in case of any sort of emergencies, help them do their jobs.
Shalom, shalom, Akiminakwaf. This is your brother Azariah. I want to start by giving all the praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Yahweh being the true name of the Most High God, and doing so in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world knows as Jesus Christ, but we know his true name to be Yahawashi, and he is the Hamashiach. All right, what I want to do is just touch upon, the outages, right? The cell towers, the outages that we had dealing with, the carriers such as AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, right? These are some situations, some grand situations that we had just happen yesterday. And really, it was a sample. I said grand, Salaki, let me take that back. It was a foreshadow of what's to come, okay? Like, it's a foreshadow of what's to come. And it's quite sad to see, how the masses just went into, panic mode over something as little as this. This is only a small sample size of what's to come. Right, like I just said, when what happens when the bigger stuff hits the ceiling. Now, it was a surprise, I will say, because when I got up, well, like around 6, when I looked around 6 o'clock, I noticed that my service was off. Maybe I didn't take care of my bill or whatever, so let me go ahead and take care of that. And come to find out later on, hours later, I find out that there's an outage, right? It's a nationwide network outage, predominantly AT&T, but I've also heard, T-Mobile was affected. I also heard Verizon was affected. So this was a wide range, and went off in different states as well. So come to find, okay, no one's got service. So when I understood that, I was like, okay, I know what it is. If no one's got service, no one's got service. But to see, people walked in, like AT&T stores, and just coming into AT&T stores, and people just notice, okay, man, like everyone's panicking, bugging out, like right there waiting before when the stores, are opening. People are going in there. I'm noticing, so it's one of these things, man. Trouble could hit us suddenly, and it's a wake up call to know what are we going to do? The speculation. There was one girl. There was one. She appeared to be an Edomite. I couldn't know for sure, but she appeared to be an Edomite. But she kind of, like I spoke with her briefly, and she kind of let me know that she was, speculating that whatever they're not telling us of why this happened, because, of course, people want to know why is the service going down. And, that's something we ultimately don't know, but we can speculate on. And, people think, okay, hey, probably China, with the cyber attack, right? Because we know about that with the rumors of the wars that are going on, the battle that's taking place with Babylon and the other countries, So, Iran, China, you name it. So we can go down the list. Babylon's racking up enemies, as it should, as prophecy, said, it would. But, that's the speculation. China, hacked into our system. Hey, and really, I don't, while I don't know for sure, while I was on that a little bit, I kind of don't believe that anymore. The more and more I think about it, I think it was, our system. It's our system hacking from within. And they want you to believe that it's China, though. Right, let me get this article real quick. See this right here? This Fox News article. Obviously, you can't really put all your eggs in one basket, especially dealing with Fox, but you kind of dig the meat from the bones with everything. So it says, this article by Andrew Mark Miller, Rubio warns Chinese cyber attack will be 100 times worse than AT&T outage, your power and your water, right? So they're telling, hey, look, preparing you that, look, trying to get them in the masses' minds that, okay, look, hey, China's going to be, it's going to be worse, right? They're going to attack your power and your water. Right? They're going to attack your power and your water. And they're trying to put that on China, just like how they did with the the pandemic. This is all Esau loves to do is to throw rocks and hide his hands. He's gonna same formula. He did it before last time. Oh, China came and brought the and look, Moab's they're gonna get theirs. And these guys were working Confederate with Esau for a minute, but everyone's looking for that power. And you never know. You never exactly know. But look, the way that Esau wants it is he wants the people to be dependent on his beast system. Okay, so that's why you just see how they play this thing. They always want to blame another country. Be Iran, Saudi. You go into all these different countries and blame them for actions they've done like they haven't done anything, always playing victim. The whole time they're the ones behind it. That's why you see them trying to front like it's some software bug or some software update. A software update does not happen to make the whole network just have malfunction like that, where some people's services were working and then the majority of them weren't. Right. And then even when you had service, you couldn't do anything because who are you going to contact? Right. You know what I'm saying? You can't contact those that you're close to. So what's the point? So that it was bugging out people's service. So that's not a software update or a software bug isn't going to, do that type of thing. You don't even see that in the smaller carrier companies. Right. The metros. Right. The Crickets, which is a part of AT&T, by the way, but simply mobile. It's a software bug in the network. A software bug is dealing with the actual, the software that the phone is made, where it's compromised, how it's used, the platform, right? Dealing with your inner phone, the software in the technology in the towers. Hey, look, something's not right. I'll say that something's not right. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't line up that. For companies that have been in towers have been around for a while. So you best believe, don't rule out Esau internally doing this to the mass consumers to test out and see how bugged out people would get. Don't rule it out. Because more often than not, that's the case. So that's what we always want to keep these things in mind. Right here. It says Marco Rubio warned on social media that the AT&T outage affecting tens of thousands of Americans pales in comparison to what a potential China cyber attack would look like, right? And Marco Rubio is a politician. He's a politician, American, an American politician, current senator from Florida, okay? So he says, I don't know the cause of the AT&T outage. The Florida Republican posted on X on Thursday, right? It's Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. But I do know it'll be 100 times worse when China launches a cyber attack on America on the eve of a Taiwan invasion. And that's they're prepping you to, because here's the thing, these guys, when these guys come and they're here and they're already here, people already inside the U.S., right? We know there's people already here from other countries that have invaded the U.S. in various points and times. So there's going to be an inside attack, but they coming physically. They coming to attack. When they come to attack, they coming to attack physically, and they're going to go for the gold, man. They want everything. So Esau, man, I'm telling you, and if it wasn't for the Most High, the divine intervention, we would be through. We would be through. But for those who have Yahawah Ba'Shem Yahawashi, you know what it is. And there's still a lot to see how this is going to play out. We got to see a lot how all this thing totally plays out, right? But we know ultimately what it's going to be. Okay, we know ultimately what it's going to be. It's going to be World War III. It's going to be civil unrest, Jacob's trouble, right? It's going to be all of that. All right, it's going to be definitely that times what, 25,000, and you get it. Let's let's get a precept real quick. All right, let's get the book of let's get the book of Jeremiah 47, and hold on. Okay, Salaki, hold on. Let's get the book of Isaiah 47. All right. Okay. Let's go to Isaiah 47. We'll start at 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And so in the moment of one day. So, like this happened. This is an example of what can just happen in the blink of an eye, right? Just when the Most High says so, when he just pulls the cord, when he uses his Yahawashi through the angels to pull the cord, to pull the strings, he can do this at any point in time that he wants. When he feels it suffice, it's ready, right? All of these things can happen. I'm just starting right here, right? Loss in one day. That's how Jacob's trouble will be. The loss, it just, because there's a buildup. We do know there's a buildup that gets to that point, right? We're in that buildup stage. But just when all hell just breaks loose, you might just, like in a movie, right? You just wake up and see that everyone's just running the streets and your purge is just popping off. Just like you woke up and found out your service was gone. It could be just like that, right? The loss of children, widowhood, people dying close to your family members, right? They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries, for the great abundance of thy enchantments, the sinning, the things that we're doing right now, we're succumbing to, right? In verse 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, right? That's all our people are doing, trusting in thy wickedness, not going towards the ways of the Most High in righteousness. So we're trusting in the wicked situation. We're going to get a wicked reward. It's just that simple. And you're going to see all the wicked reward is going to be a recompense upon Esau and any of our people that are joined hand in hand to that, and not really ultimately obedient to Yahawashi, right? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, right? Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So this is going to just happen. This is prophesied in this time, but this is dual prophecy. This is going to apply again. You think this is going to apply again? It will. Don't be mistaken. It will. It's just going to happen. It's just going to pop off, right? We get to the build up and people are going to be surprised. What's going on? Cars just jam. You always see that type of thing, like leaving, movies like, Left Behind, and, cars just jamming. I'm not talking about no rapture, but you see all just weird instances taking place out of the ordinary. And Jake is just, Jake and the rest of the people just, because they're not knowing what's going on. Yet brothers out here teaching the Bible online, and some hit the streets, and, it's not being heard. You just walk right by it. And you're not even thinking twice about it. Okay. And this was just, this is just a test run. We knew this was a test run, right? Because there's still more things to happen. But this just shows that the mind state, specifically of our people, and I've heard people talking in there, just like, hey, we got to do something. This shows you the state of the world. Yeah, it should wake you up to know what is going on, what you need to do. You need to be looking for answers. We've been saying this, right? You need to be looking for answers. And you can store up, and that same Edomite woman I was telling you about, or presumed Edomite woman, she's actually up on her game. She's stocked on some bottles and water bottles, canned goods, because she knows something's about to go down. Right now, ultimately, of course, that's not gonna do her any good, especially if she is indeed an Edomite. But even if she's a Jake, that's not gonna do her any good either way. If you don't have your Yahawashi, drink all you want, eat all you want, if you're able to even stay there, because we know people are gonna turn on each other during these times, right? It's gonna, matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that. Let's get up. Second Ezra 6 and 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Right? It's about to be a whole situation. It's about to be a whole situation. Whole situation. Okay? Those that escape, who stay into the will of Yahawashi, right? The ones that are saved from these things, right? That are enduring in him, that are preserved, they're going to see his salvation, right? And the end of the world. They're going to escape, see the salvation and the end of the world. That's why Yahawashi, like he said, we need to pray for this. We got to pray that we fall into this lot right here. Okay? We got to pray that we fall into this lot. And people's, look, the scriptures are here still, right? The Bible hasn't been banned or anything as of yet. It's still open for people to read and repent and take heed to it. But most of Jake is not going to do this, right? People are going to stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. These people are going to be full of fear. They was in fear just off their cell phones not having service. How much more because they got jobs that where people work and they do this and a third. The whole life is being ran off of a cell phone, right? So, this is what happens, and people starting to question. People were getting into it. It made me. I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of laughed a little, because not because people lost their service, but really because just understanding like the type of a mode that it is, and being able to stay and the Most High putting the spirit, in me, and I know other brothers and sisters too, to kind of see, okay, shoot, man, like we know what it is. We hip. This is small talk right here. We pray that he puts the spirit in us, like Job 5:22 says, to laugh. Let's get that. Right? Let's get Job real quick. Job 5:22. And I love this precept, especially talking about end times, because this is what we need. Let's start at 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. So this is a lot that comes along with it, and us getting spiritually prepared and in tune with Yahawashi in the spirit. Yeah, you can prepare somewhat carnally, but obviously that's going to run out. And when that runs out, if you even get to partake in all of it, then you're left with nothing but your faith. And if you have family, you and your family have nothing left but the faith. And that's what you want to pray for, is the increase, that he's going to guide you. You operate in the Holy Spirit of Yahawashi, right? And people are not up on this. They're not going to be smiling if you don't even know what's going on. You don't believe in what's going on. You don't believe what the scriptures tell you, that because this is our comfort. Wisdom and stability, knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, right? Roughly paraphrasing. So we got to take that into account. But people is still, there's gonna, best believe there's still gonna be people walking in La La Land, man. Still darkened. Matthew 26, and and we praying for brothers to wake up. We praying for sisters to wake up, man. Fully into the full gospel of Yahawashi. Right? But that's all up to the Most High. It's all up to Yahawashi to whether that, that happens or not. All right, Matthew 24 and 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So, of course, no one's going to know. No one's going to know. Yahawashi don't even know, right? He says it right here. He don't even know. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And Jake still is doing that. They still going out partying, doing whatever the case may be, and not thinking about what's going to happen. This should be a wake-up call. And even for some people that it is, they may change things differently. They're still not going to see the full solution. You still, just like Rick Ross, he thinks he could, based on what he was saying, he could party it up, have a bunch of Eves twerking in the basement, in the underground bunker, have him and his bros sitting there enjoying their time while everybody's fighting and getting destroyed up here. And you think he gonna be all right and just come out and it's just like, that's the mindset of Jake, man. That's the mindset of Jake. But that's not how it's going to work. This is spiritual that's manifesting on the earth, look, the battles are coming through, man. This is a spiritual battle every day, right? And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. It's going to be the same thing. When Yahawashi comes, no one's going to know, but only the Heavenly Father knows. Not Yahawashi, not the angels know, only the Heavenly Father knows, right? So, in which case, it's gonna take people by surprise. All of this stuff will, because if they're not in tune spiritually, most of our people are dead and they don't know what's going on, and they're not going to be in tune when all hell breaks loose. So, and this is also a wake-up call for us too, to strive more and to move closer to Yahawashi and to fight our iniquities, to purge them out, to move and get better, to be stronger in the spirit, right? Because at the end of the day, and to gather with those are speaking for us as believers in Yahawashi as we currently hold, let's build, man. Build with one another while we have time to, because it's going to be a time where we don't have time to do as such. Let me get this real quick. Hebrews 10 and 24 I always like bringing out when it comes to the aspect of gathering together in these last days. Hebrews 10 and 24, and let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, so much the more as ye see the day approaching. We see the day approaching. We see how close it's getting. This is another sign of that, a small sample size of that, right? Days are going by quicker for the sake of the elect. All right. So we got to take opportunity to communicate with each other while we have the chance to, because we've seen a short, small sample size of what it would look like when we can't communicate with one another. And then it's gone. Now you can't. Now whatever you got is what you got. Between you, Yahawashi, get what you can. Build with your brothers. Because how you going to build trust with brothers and sisters in the day of trouble? They don't know you, right? They don't know you. You don't know how the Most High could play this out, where you may have to go into someone's house, right? And we just trust in Yahawashi, but you just never know. Build with those that are like-minded while we can. If not, even the Most High leads you in the spirit to go to that area so that you're closer around believers. Just whatever is right in the spirit. Just these are the things that we talk about. Stop doing things solo dolo. We will all get a chance to kind of move solo dolo in a sense, whether it's with your family or whether you might even get separated. We could even get separated from our families. So that solo dolo stuff, man, is for the birds. While we have a chance, while we do have service on our phones, Let's make the most out of that opportunity. Okay. And for those, you know, obviously it's a wake-up call for us to continue to work towards Yahawashi, those in the body, and for those that are seeking to get in the body, you know, to be initiated into the body. Like we always say, hey, put forth your best effort. Don't put off tomorrow for what you can do today, right? Don't boast tomorrow, because we don't know what it will be, right? Sirach 5:7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put that off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. You know, because we just don't know. We can't call it, man. Any day we could be playing around with this thing. You need to get baptized in the name of Yahawashi, and that's why the email's always up. You know, the email's up. I've done a couple classes where I just showed brothers and sisters, go to the email. You know, hit me up. There's other brothers too as well. You know, whether it be on Instagram or, you know, in the lessons on, you know, principles of Yahawashi, you can hit the brother Aharon up. You know, Shema Shawan can be hit up. You know, it's just, we make ourselves available, right? So if you need to get these baptisms done, please do so. Don't tarry with it. You know what you need to do. You believe it. The Most High is giving you the gift of belief, of faith, and His only begotten Son, Yahawashi. Hey, let's do what we need to do. Don't let this world take you away from what it is that you need to do, right? And that's first and foremost, seeking the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness, and all the other things shall be added on to you. It'll be added on. Don't you worry about the rest of the stuff. I mean, you put your, don't, and I'm not saying neglect it. Of course, if you got jobs, we got to still work and still go on, because the world is still going on, what's left of it, right? Of Esau's kingdom. It's a pitiful kingdom. But that being said, don't let it overshadow, you know? Don't let it overshadow what should be first and foremost and most important, which is seeking the kingdom of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, and His righteousness in all things, you know, that come along with that. And everything else will work itself out, because this place is going to be, again, a reminder. We keep saying this place is going to be destroyed. Everyone knows that. You know, if you're in the know, you know, it's going to be destroyed. Coming soon. All the work that we put forth, like it's like you're building a sand castle next to the waves and the beach. You know, that title is going to come up, and you're building that castle, and that's cool for the time being, but there's going to be a time coming soon where that wave and waves are going to come up. It's going to wash that castle away. So we want to make sure we keeping Yahweh Shah first, seeking the kingdom of heaven, Him, His righteousness, and all things shall be added on to us, right? Because this is just a temporary show, and you know, the people already, you know, bugging out about what they can't do and this and the third, and it's gonna not knowing or speculating, but not knowing really the full magnitude of how worse it's really going to be. it's crazy, man. But with all that being said, I hope this was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth that are learning and or teaching this gospel in truth and sincerity. Till next time, Yahweh willing, Shalom.